Welcome back again, guys. Today we're going to look at how to solve division equations. So we've gone through addition, subtraction, and multiplication. Now we're going to take a look at division equations. So again, we have our term to define the multiplication property of equality. It says the same thing our other four have. I can multiply each side of an equation by the same number and still wind up with a true statement or a balanced side, however you want to look at it. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Again, the board that you're getting tired of seeing, but you need to know. How do I solve equations? Our two rules: keeping it balanced, which is the properties we've talked about. Whatever I do to one side, I also have to do to the other. And I want to get the variable all by itself. I need to isolate that variable. Keep it balanced, isolate the variable. So we'll take a couple examples of solving division equations here. So again, what is the inverse of division? Well, it's multiplication, because the opposite of multiplication was division, so now we're just going to do it the other way. And remember, sometimes we write it in a fraction form, it still means division. So x divided by 12 equals 3. How am I going to undo my division? I'm going to undo it by multiplying. That leaves me with just an x on this side, and then 3 times 12 gives me 36. I can check to make sure I'm right by plugging it in. 36 divided by 12 indeed gives me 3, so I know that I'm correct. Over here, it's the same idea, it's just written a little differently. Don't let it throw you off. How am I going to fix this? Well, I'm going to multiply both sides by 8. I'm going to multiply by 8 to undo my division. That leaves me with y. Since I multiplied that side by 8, I need to multiply the other side by 8 as well. And you get 448, assuming I'm not completely crazy, but let's just double check that on the calculator. Yes, 448. So again here, I'm dividing. How am I going to undo my division? By multiplying. But pay attention to our signs. Those need to stay the same. I'm multiplying by negative 13. So what happens here? Those are going to cancel. I'm just left with a W on this side. Then I've got 5 times negative 13. 5 times 13 gives me 65. 65, I have one negative, so my answer should be negative. All right, over here, you'll notice there's a little bit going on over here, so I want to simplify this side just to make it a little easier on myself. So I want the opposite of the absolute value of negative 13. Well, the absolute value of negative 13 is 13. The opposite of that is negative 13. So I have a divided by 10 is equal to negative 13. How am I going to get the variable by itself? Well, I want to undo my division, which I'm going to do by multiplying. When I do that, my 10s cancel. I'm left with a. Negative 13 times 10 is going to be a negative 130. Again, remember, if you have any questions or you're struggling, go back, rewatch the video. Feel free to post your comments your questions in the comments section, or email me, or ask in class. All right? Have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow.